Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. Today we're gonna jump into another WPT GTO trainer session. Here we're playing game theory optimal spots and practicing them really. Right now we're at the MTT spot, MP2, so middle position 2, open versus button call. So let's jump right into it. We play 25 hands per session, and if you want to watch some other our previous sessions, just check out the previous videos. We have King Queen off on a 4-7-9 on our first hand, and we are going to check here. Check is fine, but the ideal action will be betting 2.5, and the solver plays it 39% of the time. Anyways, we're check calling obviously with King Queen. And which is interesting, the solver would prefer check raising to 10, and he would do that 70% of the time. This is something we need to work on in our game, definitely, because I don't think I have enough of bluff check raises, and this is a pretty good hand to do that with. Now I can see that, but yeah, I didn't see that before. So there's a 4 of diamonds on the turn, and we're gonna check. The solver would do that as well, 78% of the time. And the villain checked behind. So what do we do here on the 6 of hearts? Do we think our king high is good enough to win? I don't think so. I think we have to bet at this. And betting 8 is the ideal action. Play 35.6% of the time. The villain folds, so we take the pot down. Now we have ace jack suited on a king 3. I think that's a bet 2.5. It is. We get raised to 9.5. I think we call this here. Yeah. We have a queen of clubs on the turn. I'm gonna check. Are we check calling here? Well, if he bets a third of the pot, I think it's an easy call. Yeah, but if he bet more than that, I don't know if it's such an easy call or if it even is an easy call. Anyways, we hit a flush on the river, and I think we're gonna check again. We're gonna check. The solver agrees, and we would have called or have gone all in if he bet less than that. But unfortunately he checks behind and we win. Ace 9 of diamonds on a 5-4-9. I think that's a bet 5.5. Yeah, it is. Excellent. 8-6 of diamonds on a 5-4 queen. That actually might be 5.5 as well. It is not. The better option is to bet 2.5, but betting 5.5 is fine 33% of the time. The solver does it here. Yeah, with the flop spots, as you can see, the solver always has a mixed strategy, and the EV differences between checking, betting 2.5 or betting 5.5 are often very, very minute, so no real big differences. But here we check with king jack. I think, well, it would be better to bet 2.5. We should be doing that 64% of the time, but checking is fine, and play 24% of the time. Now we hit our jack, and we also hit a flush draw to the nuts. So I think we're gonna bet 5. Well, that's not a good play. As we can see, the solver almost never does that here. So if we're betting on a spot like that on this jack, we probably need to either bet a third of the pot or overbetted. Betting 2/3 is just not in the solver's strategy, so probably we should not be doing that either. And anyways, check was the ideal action and played 70% of the time, so we should only be betting here really a third of the time. I'm gonna check on the 4 of clubs on the river. Unfortunately, we're not gonna know what the end result of this hand would be because the solver didn't calculate it since it was such a low frequency play. So we can just go ahead and call this to see what the villain has. The villain had ace queen, so we would have lost anyway. King jack suited on a 6-5 ace, I think is a bet 2.5. It is not. It should be a check always. Good to know. We check on a 7 of clubs. Again, we're not gonna know what happens here, but we're folding anyway. 8-6 of diamonds on a 3-3-6. That's gonna be a bet 2.5. Check would be ideal, but that's fine too. We are gonna continue betting small here. Still that's fine, but just 9% of the strategy. And 74 is a check, so should be wary of that. And now on a 3 on the river, we're gonna check, maybe try and induce some bluffs. Well, actually, better would be betting out, leading out. Checking the solver almost never does here, so it's much better to bet. And now we managed to induce, so we're gonna call, of course. And Dylan has just a missed flush draw. Queen 10 suited on a king 8-4. That's about 2.5. It is. We get called. 5 of clubs on the turn. I think this is a card where we can try and bluff it. Well, overbetting is bad here, and we should only try and bluff at this card at 13% of the time. So I assume mostly it's through 2/3 of the pot bet. Maybe it's through 1/3 of the pot. I don't know. But checking is the ideal action, and we should be doing that 86.6% of the time. Of course, now we fold once he raises. Queen 9 of diamonds on a 5-5-8 is a check. Actually, it's a bet 5.5. Should be a bet 5.5, 79% of the time. Which is quite interesting. Check is fine too, but just 14% of the time that the solver does it here. We're gonna call the third of the pot bet. Yeah. Another 8 on the turn. Gonna check. Now the villain bets 8 BBs. We're folding. Yeah. Ace queen suited on a jack 7-10. Maybe that's a check. It's better to bet 2.5. 3 of diamonds on the turn. Well, now we should bet. I guess a delayed c-bet would be my go-to action here. The villain folds. Queen jack off on a 10-deuce-8. That's a bet 2.5. It is. We get called. 6 of spades on the turn. It's gonna be a check from us. And the solver would actually prefer continuing betting here on the 6. And he would bet 2/3 of the pot. But checking is fine as well. Now we have another 8 on the river. And I think it's worth to bet at it. And I think that's an overbet spot, right? That's gotta be. And again, it is not. Why does the solver give up spots like that? I really cannot understand this. I mean, Probably I am way over betting these spots and over fighting for those pots. Maybe I should not be, since yeah, as we can see, the solver gives up here 99.94% of the time. Pocket aces on a queen 8-9 with 2 diamonds. We're gonna bet 5.5. The hero would prefer betting 2.5. I mean the solver, but this was fine too. We have a 10 of diamonds on the turn. We're gonna check, I think. Yeah. We're gonna check call, obviously. And we have another queen on the river. And we are gonna dunk bet it. Check call. Maybe check call. Yeah, check calling is better. Well, the villain puts us all in. Can we fold this? Probably not, right? Yeah, I don't think we can fold this. But we should. 84.5% of the time. Should only call here 15.5% of the time. This is very good to know. I thought this was like 50-50 spot. And it's 84.5 to 15.5. So very good spot to analyze and put into your head, I guess. If you're like me and would overcall here. Ace 3 suited on an 8-10-6. That's a check. It is, and that's a call. That's a check call. Nope, it is not a check call. It's a check fold. And once in a blue moon, he check raises. Okay. We're gonna play this hand fast because we're not gonna know anything anyway. We're just folding. Yeah. Queen jack off on a tray 7-7. We're checking. And calling, I guess? Or folding, yeah. We are actually folding. We should be folding. We check on the ace. Villain checks as well. And we're gonna bet 3. Dunk bet it on the river. We lose to an ace. But yeah, it was an interesting spot. Ace 8 suited on a 5-deuce-8. Bet 2.5. Yeah, better to bet 5.5. Or check. King on the turn. We're gonna check. That's the ideal action, but only played a quarter of the time. And we have a 4 of clubs on the river. We're gonna bet 8. And betting 3 is the ideal action again. Unfortunately, we get raised all in. We fold. Pocket 8s on a jack 7-10. That's a bet 2.5. Or a check, with check being the more frequent play. Jack 9 of hearts on a 6 queen ace. It's a bet 2.5. Or a check. Ace jack off on a queen queen 6. Bet 2.5. We got called. 4 of hearts on the turn. We're gonna check. Correct. And in 10 on the river, we're check calling, I guess. Yeah, the villain checks behind with pocket sevens and wins the pot. Ace queen on an ace 9-7. That's maybe bet 5.5. Nope. Should be a check 43% of the time. We have another 9 on the turn. We go called. So we're gonna bet 2/3 of the pot. That's the ideal action, but the villain folds. Pocket jacks on a 9 queen 4 is a bet 2.5. Yep. Ace 7 suited on a 3-6 ace is a bet 2.5. Check would be the preferred and more frequent play, actually. We have a 10 of clubs on the turn, and we are going to check now. Yeah, the solver checks 56% of the time and bets 43% of the time. If we're checking, of course, we check calling, even though the villain overbets the pot. And now we have a king on the river. We are going to check. And the villain shoves. And do we call this here or do we fold? I think we call this here. And that's a very bad call. Should be a fold 99.6% of the time. So yeah, we overshot by a lot. It's a call almost. It's a never call, basically. Our a7 is just too weak to call here. And our huge EV loss is probably gonna butcher the session. But oh well. We're playing to get better, right? Pocket nines on a king 7-4 is gonna be about 2.5. Yep. Pocket aces on a 3-8-5 is gonna be about 2.5. Should be about 5.5. We go called. There's another ace on the turn. We're gonna check. The villain now bets 8, and I think we're gonna try and raise it up. We should be calling, really. But the villain called, and now we can just shove the rest of the stack in and we win. But the raise was bad. We should be just calling there, check calling there on the ace when we hit trips. Ace queen of diamonds on an 8-9-3. Is that a bet 5.5? It is. We pick up some more equity on a 4 of diamonds, and we're gonna overbet the pot or bet 2/3. I think we're gonna bet 2/3. Yeah, it's a check or bet 2/3. The villain unfortunately shoves. And can we call? The pot obviously shows the wrong number. I don't know why. But I'm just trying to think if we have good odds to call. Probably not. So I'm gonna fold. Come on, man. Come on. When I call, wanting to be right, like here, is the wrong call. And when I fold, hoping to be right and not see that it's a fold 99.9% of the time, it turns out that it's a call 100% of the time. So we are making some bad decisions today, it seems like. But oh well. Ace 10 suited on a 5-6 There's gonna be a check. It is, and a call. Another 6 on the turn. We're checking again. The solver agrees. Let's see what the villain does. The villain checks again as well. And we catch a 10 on the river. So we're gonna try and overbet the pot. Nope, overbetting is bad. Because the solver never does that. Or almost never. It's better to bet a third or 2/3 of the pot. Excellent, we've played our 25 hands today. And let me take a guess what the EV loss is gonna be like. And I'm guessing minus 100 BBs. Okay, it's not that bad. It's just minus 70. But yeah, this hand was terrible, and this one was terrible as well. And other than that, we've done quite well. But yeah, as you can see, just two terrible hands like that can really take you a long way. We're still way too often betting or raising compared to the GTO. And we're not calling enough and we're not folding enough. So there's that. Let's see just how our overall stats worsened, and yeah, unfortunately they got down to minus 36.1. But what can you do? We are learning, we're improving, so that's the most important thing. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you stayed this long, please leave a comment GTO below. If you want to check out this software, just go to the link in the description of this video. If you're not subscribed already, please do so and click this little notification bell so that I get notified whenever I post a video. And yeah, that would be it for this video. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.